Okay, let's dive into this. We are going to crack the code on confidence. And I'm not talking about that fake it till you make it stuff. I mean the real, deep down self belief that helps you handle the messy, brilliant, and sometimes awkward process of just being human.
You know that feeling, right? You're sitting in a meeting, this fantastic idea just pops into your head, but you stay quiet. Or maybe you see someone interesting across the room, but your feet feel like they're cemented to the floor. That hesitation, that little voice whispering, "Who do you think you are?" Well, that's exactly what we're going to take apart today.
Now, here's the thing that's so fascinating. Most of us have this whole idea completely backward. We think we have to feel confident before we can do the scary thing. But the single most important idea we're going to cover is this. Confidence isn't something you need to start. It's something you earn along the way. You act first, and confidence is the reward that comes after. So, if we've been getting it wrong all this time, what's the right way? Let's actually break down the mechanics, the real step-by-step process for how confidence is built from the ground up. You know, the biggest trap we fall into is waiting for some magical feeling of readiness, this moment where all our fear and anxiety just evaporates. But let me tell you a secret. That moment, it never comes. Waiting to feel ready is basically just a recipe for staying stuck forever. The real formula is actually a simple three-step loop. Just think about a toddler learning to walk. They don't sit around waiting to feel confident, right? They just act. They wobble, they fall down, they get up, and they try again. That action creates evidence. Hey, I stood up for a second. And that evidence slowly builds the belief that they can do it. It's always action, then evidence, then belief. Okay, so if the formula is that simple, what's stopping us from taking that first step? Well, it's usually the little committee of critics living in our heads. But here's the thing. These voices aren't some deep personal flaw. They're just old mental habits that mean well, but are totally misguided. Let's get to know them. First up, you've got the historian. Its job is to replay a highlight reel of every single mistake you've ever made. Then you have the fortune teller, who's always predicting absolute disaster for anything new you want to try. And finally, my favorite, the comparison cartel, which loves to scroll through social media, comparing your behind-the-scenes struggles with everyone else's perfect highlight reel. So here's the crucial shift in perspective. These voices are not you. They're just mental events, like weather patterns passing through the sky of your mind. And you don't have to believe every panicky weather forecast, do you? This slide shows you the exact tool for dealing with them. It's a technique called cognitive diffusion. So instead of getting all tangled up in a thought like, I'm going to fail, you create a little space by just observing it. You shift from, I am this thought, to, I am noticing this thought. Just saying to yourself, I'm having the thought that I'm going to fail creates enough distance to drain that thought of its power. It's a small change, but it's a game changer. All right, now that we know how to observe our inner critics without getting bossed around by them, we need to change the channel. And the best way to do that is with a toolkit designed for one thing and one thing only, taking small, manageable actions. See, you don't build confidence by jumping off a cliff. You build it by taking tiny, consistent steps. The magic number we're looking for here isn't 100%. It's just 1%. So what is a 1% risk? Well, it's an action that's right on the edge of your comfort zone. It's not terrifying, but it does make your heart beat just a little bit faster. It's a small, doable action that proves to your brain, hey, I can handle a little bit of discomfort. And these can be incredibly small things. Socially, it might just be complimenting a barista on their tattoo. Professionally, it could be asking that one question you're afraid might sound stupid. Personally, maybe it's just trying a new recipe you're pretty sure you're going to mess up. Each one is another tiny little brick of evidence for your brain. Now, while you're planning those small actions, there's another really cool tool you can use right in the moment to give yourself a boost. Because it turns out confidence isn't just in your head, it's also in your body. Your posture is sending signals to your brain all the time, and you can totally hijack that system. Think about it. When we feel insecure, we physically make ourselves smaller. We slump, we cross our arms. A high power pose is the exact opposite. Stand tall, take up more space, breathe deeply from your belly. Seriously, before a nerve-wracking meeting, just go into a bathroom stall and stand like a superhero for 2 minutes. You're sending a direct signal to your brain that says, hey, we're in charge here. Act like. Okay, so you're out there taking these little risks, but what happens when you stumble, when you fail? This right here is the most critical part of the entire puzzle. A confident person isn't someone who never messes up. They're someone who doesn't let failure destroy their sense of self-worth. This one tiny word changes absolutely everything. It's the difference between a dead end and a wide open learning curve. Adding the word yet to any statement about something you can't do, it completely transforms your mindset. Someone with a fixed mindset sees failure as a final judgment. I failed, which means I am a failure. But someone with a growth mindset, they see failure as data. Okay, that approach didn't work. What did I learn? What can I try next time? Challenges stop being threats and start being workouts for your brain. So here's the deal. You have to reframe your entire mission. Your goal isn't to succeed at every single 1% risk. Your goal is to collect good failures. Those are the attempts where you pushed yourself a little, you learned something valuable, and it doesn't even matter what the final outcome was.
Okay, let's bring all of this together. We've talked about the formula, we've met those inner critics, and we've built a whole toolkit. But what's the foundation that holds all of it together? What's going to power your next brave action?
It all comes down to self-compassion. When you mess up, when you feel awkward or embarrassed, you have a choice. You can either beat yourself up or you can treat yourself with the same kindness you'd give a good friend who is struggling. That kindness is what creates the psychological safety you need to get back up and try again. So here it is, your confidence toolkit in a nutshell. 1. Act first, feel confident later. 2. Name and manage your inner critics. Don't let them drive the bus. 3. Take small, daily 1% risks. 4. Use your body to lead your mind. 5. Reframe every failure with that magic word, yet. And number 6, maybe the most important, be your own ally in this whole process. And look, this isn't just some nice, fluffy idea. The research is clear. Self-compassion is a way better predictor of resilience than self-esteem is. Self-esteem can be really fragile, but self-compassion, that's a stable internal resource that lets you bounce back from pretty much anything. It's your ultimate safety. So look, this was never just about passively listening. Real confidence is built by doing. So I'm going to leave you with a direct question. What is your 1% risk this week? What is the one small, slightly scary action you're going to take to build your own confidence, one brick at a time?